In this episode of Roasting Each Other's Bike, Kaz invoices Sorka.
A Mark or a Jazz? Who are you?
Dario propositions me.
Resist the yank.
And I explain why I always carry 3 gloves. Truthfully, my undercarriage needed a bit more support.
Welcome to another edition of Roasting Each Other's Bikes.
Yep, it's a new year. We've got a new crop of bikes. So we're going to ride each other's bikes and critique them.
And not talk about handlebar roll.
No, not one bit. So, before we complain about each other's bikes, let's find out what we're dealing with.
My bike for this edition is the Raaw Madonna V3. So I've been on this for a little bit. It's a long-term test bike, but because it's available as a frame only, I decided to switch all kinds of parts and make it even more perfect. And it's perfect because, well, it's aluminum. The geometry's great. Got strong brakes, good suspension, good tires, good wheels. I mean, I think everything. It's just really good.
My contestant for this three-way competition is the Frameworks trail bike, for lack of any real name. It's a kind of a prototypey frame, so it's not completely finished yet, but I think it's like one of the better performing bikes I've ridden. The Geo is fantastic. It's got even more aluminum than Kaz's bike.
No, it doesn't. It has carbon, and mine doesn't have any carbon.
I guess, but it's like thicker aluminum.
Right,
you know?
Solid tubes.
Like grams-wise, it might be more aluminum. Also, big brakes, great suspension. I think it's a lot of fun. Like I've enjoyed riding it everywhere, both on like chill trails and then on like really gnarly stuff. And I also like the way it looks a lot.
For this one, I just have an Orbea Occam. This bike is like margarita pizza if the basil and tomato seem to flourish too far. It's cheese on bread. It's so simple. It's delicious. It's completely stock. And I love how unapologetically kind of plain it is. It's the ultimate palate cleanser. It's the decaf green tea. It's green.
All right, so those are the 3 bikes we're talking about today. We're going to hop on each other's and see what we think. We're going to jump right into Kaz's Raaw Madonna. Henry, what did you think?
It was all right. I mean, I think I like the elegance. Big old metal bike. Your bike's got to take quite out there.
I have a high front end, but yours felt even more extreme.
Very high.
I felt too far from the front wheel.
Could it not be better with a 50mm stem? Like just a bit of weight, like a bit more weight on the front. I liked it.
I'm just aggressive. You should see me. I'm just like
elbows up, guy.
Pushing, like
My issue was I felt like I was either too far forward where I was like over the bars or like off the back because the front end was like pushing me there. But you know, I'm not used to it perhaps.
Can I tell you something? Kaz, close your ears for a minute.
Okay. They're big. They're hard to close.
I absolutely bloody loved that bike. But this bike it was more of a mountain bike coach than a bike. It just makes you corner properly. I like
the bike or the brakes?
The bike.
The bike.
I thought the geometry was pretty great, but I just think if you've got a bike with that high front end, it could give it a bit more stability by having a bit longer stem, in my opinion, because as it gets higher, the bike comes back towards you.
What if you go down the hill?
But the bike's the height. Sorry, you're doing this, I'm doing that.
Yeah, would you go like this?
What about like a flatter trail?
Why would you ride this on a flatter trail?
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, but then it's flat. It doesn't matter. You're just getting there.
But no, what I'm saying is,
Scootering along.
As you have a higher front end, it basically, it shortens the feel of the bike effectively.
Right.
So as you have a higher front end, it can also take weight off the front wheel. Why not put a longer stem on there and 2 birds, 1 stone?
Yeah. I don't have any trouble with the front wheel. It's got a 64-degree head angle. It's fine. It's plenty slack. Feels great.
Yeah, I think
I'm a little shorter than you too, though.
That's
I'm only
true.
5'11", not only, but I'm 5'11", so.
Not only.
You guys seem, whenever you do this, it seems like you guys are towering over me. But for everyone out there, I'm 5'11". It's a normal height. I'm not short.
6'9".
Yeah. I just feel like I'm little, man.
Honestly, I think using that booster seat was a nice move today.
Yeah, it's helping.
Yeah, fun books.
Do you ever ride claggy mud that needs the shorty?
Yeah, we've got some soft trails that a shorty's great. I put it on for like special occasions, meaning that it's been torrential downpour for the last 3 weeks, or the snow melted and now it's really muddy.
Dario, what would you say the greatest strength of Kaz's bike was in the bit of riding we did?
It's pretty similar to my bike. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's almost there. Geo's good, and I like the suspension feel of it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought it was really nice. It's just that front end needs a bit more grip on it, I think. You know, Kaz, like last time you had that very, very sensible track.
Yeah.
And I think you might have got even more sensible bike now. So let's go to a very unsensible bike and talk about Dario's Dario's frameworks. Dario, your frameworks. If I was being unkind, I would say Kaz has got the proper Tupperware. You're using an old yogurt pot. Do you know what I mean?
I was raised on yogurt pots, if you will.
But you know what I mean? It feels a bit more.
It's
a little
got,
rough
it's
around
got,
the edges,
it has soul. It's beautiful.
Character.
It doesn't have any weight on the front wheel.
Oh, there's plenty of weight on the
It
front
did
wheel.
not.
I'm running a
All those
45 mil
gussets up there,
stem.
put weight on it.
I mean, I found like.
Did you have issue with that? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the tire. I found sometimes those specialized tires to feel quite wooden. I'm not saying that might be my thing. Also, I have stupid soft suspension, which is very different from what we were saying last year. But I found it was a bit wish-washy.
Man, you got to get those elbows up.
Yeah, I mean, it's my fault, really.
Yeah, these might be you problems, Henry. That you
I
have with
think
these bikes.
I have set this bike up to be like, you want to hit things with the front wheel hard. Like that's what it feels good doing. And I really like the feeling of it doing
And that's
that.
not something you could do with Kaz's bike because... Or if,
too far from the front wheel.
No, well, if I did, I mean, the noise is coming out of that front wheel.
That's true. I heard a couple
quite.
clangs.
With Visha, I'm sorry, that
It's okay,
might
it's
need to
tough.
give a look.
Yeah, it's made of carbon.
What did you think of his bike?
I like it. It does feel a lot. I mean, it's very similar to the Raaw. It's the seat angle is crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, because it makes you. I think as you raise the seat, it goes forward. Like, that's how steep it is.
It's like your TP.
Yeah, you're just kind of like
TP geometry.
Like, which is I like steep seat angles. I'd say this one would be too far. I would slide the seat back even further.
I think that was the consensus as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit too far.
What reach is it?
480.
Because it feels it feels so squat, sat down.
Yeah, sat down. It's crazy. Like I feel like I'm sitting in a stool and like I have a pair of bars in my lap, but it's comfy.
Even standing up, it felt shorter than the Raaw, which has the same reach, just because of the kind of where the seat is. So descending, it felt a little bit shorter. It doesn't feel like a short bike, but it feels more
And the head
compact.
angle's a bit slacker than the Raaw, so it's possible like the bars come back a little more.
I mean, I thought it was a nice bike. I mean,
I mean, at least it's light.
At least it's light. There's a lot of it to be thankful for.
Yeah.
You know,
More to love.
more to love. How much does it weigh?
I think 42 pounds currently.
A mere 42.
Yeah. I lightened it up. I put carbon bars and carbon cranks on it, and it's got carbon wheels. At one point, it was more. I won't say how much
did it get to?
I'm not going to say. It's at a reasonable weight right now. 42 pounds is fine.
What was the main distinction between that bike and your Raaw, Kaz?
I mean, the brakes are different. It's TRP brakes with some aftermarket, like
I'm trying those
or like early
Oak.
2000s levers.
Yeah.
It's got more stickers. Mine is pretty free of stickers.
Any stickers on it?
Yeah, you have a cool sticker. It says like Big Dog or something.
Oh,
that's a
big
book.
dog on the fork. Yeah.
And what was the heli strap?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That's part of my cable routing. Because like, I mean, like it's like they made the bike just like to work. It's it holds suspension points more than it's like a finished object. So like the cables without that will like occasionally like bang against the head tube and make noise, and so the volet strap just holds them against it.
It works.
And it's there if I need to like strap a jacket.
Yeah,
It's
true.
quiet. Like the bike is dead silent now.
Yeah.
With the seat tube angle, I felt that this was actually slightly less nose down than previous bikes.
I actually put the nose down a bit more for this video, just to like, to continue my my crusade. But yeah, on this bike, I can run it dead flat, and it feels great.
But then Henry did something with your seat that looked weird.
He did.
I did the Henry Quinney undercarriage support system.
Right, the self-fondling.
The self
You just
Saddle.
turn the glove backwards and tape it on and then sit on it.
I know it's a bit naughty, but truthfully, my undercarriage needed a bit more support, so I made a HQ ergonomics adjustment, and I think I've done quite a stellar job. Honestly, it really worked.
Do you do this on multiple bikes? Is it like a
No,
common?
this
Have you done
is
this before?
this is an
new
aftermarket
strategy.
device that is early. We can talk about prototyping. This is one of one too.
Yeah, maybe pre-production.
I really think you've seen those anomaly things. Just take off your glove and duct tape it to the nip of your saddle. Jobs are good.
Yeah.
No, I liked
work.
it. I liked your bike.
I think it's cool.
I liked that one more.
Fair enough.
You've got a good fender, long fender.
Got a good fender.
Yeah,
You
what,
had a,
dude,
oh,
sorry,
we forgot to
yeah,
talk about you have a
what
puny
is that
fender.
fender?
I know, it's a little. I need to upgrade.
Guys,
Yeah.
please.
I know
You
you
were-
have the same one I have.
I put that on my other bike. I only have one. All right, we're going to move on from these beautiful aluminum bikes to Henry's beautiful-ish carbon bike with some extra accessories you put on there.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to. I was kind of worried the accusation would be that it was boring, which I'm sure is a conclusion you haven't come to. So I thought I'd liven it up with some fun stickers. And yeah, I think I got away with it.
Yeah, it looks like a 7th grader's bike.
What did you think of riding it?
I mean, we brought 2 elegant, unique, interesting bicycles. We really like showed ourselves in them, and you brought plain toast.
Yeah.
It's completely stock.
It's the
And I
knife to
love
the
it.
gunfight thing. Like,
Yeah.
our bikes could smash yours, and you're just like, it's nice, it's great.
It rode
like,
well. I think it rides well.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good bike.
I mean, it's very soft.
Suspension
and the tires
set
are
up
too
aside.
hard.
Yeah.
The what? Go on, guys. Talk me through that. So it's too soft in the tires.
Yeah, you go backwards. Like, I prefer to run fairly low tire pressure. I don't burp tires very often. I ride softer trails, so I like tires to be, they're the first thing that hits the ground. So I like them to have some give, and then my suspension starts doing the work, where you've kind of flipped it, where your tires are on a high pressure, and then your suspension is super soft. Like, it's basically it's set up for me, but even on the softer side for me.
And
you
I'm
weigh
30 pounds heavier than you, and I bottom the fork out on every single bump
and
on
Henry's
the
probably
trail.
like 20 or 25 pounds heavier.
I'm the same pretty much with
There you
Simpson.
go.
Yeah.
So you set it for someone 30 pounds lighter than yourself. It's comfy though. It's there is good
It felt
grip.
like when I like roll a bike, like a test bike out that I haven't ridden in 2 months, and the suspension has lost a tremendous
It's been
amount of
sitting for a while.
pressure.
Yeah.
And then I just never pumped it up. I just took it out for a ride.
Yeah.
But it's so comfortable. And do you know what I like about this bike? It's like your dad's
It's
Honda.
got a carry handle.
It's got a
It does
carry
have that
handle.
too. You can pick it up.
It's a suitcase.
Yeah.
It's basically you can put loads of stuff in it. It's
Some tapas.
so plain, and it is so.
But so complex as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah.
We haven't even touched on
That's-
that.
okay,
It's
let's-
plain, but it's arguably the most complicated bike
that headset.
today.
I have no defense for.
No.
Good.
Yeah. There's no
It
defending
required
it.
4 hands to swap the brake lines. This makes sense. I like that.
Oh, if that bit comes up, because it's in that little window.
What if we just go like this, around, like that?
So if we go, right, and then if that comes up, then that. Oh, no, I need to get that. You're joking me. There we go. Yeah. So
All
then if
right,
that
now we
goes,
go back in.
go back in.
It's just that easy.
It's just that. But do you know what I would say? How often do we test bikes? And when we do these group tests and we come back and we normally level on one being the palate cleanser. This is the palate cleanser. It isn't where I go for my excitement. It's where I come just to find true north and go like,
I get the
bicycle
full
shaped bike.
like adrenal flush of having a full adrenaline reaction when I bottom the fork out, and then I get pushed back, and then I
does
bottom the
everything for you.
shock out, and then I scissor back forward, and I bottom the fork out again.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cleanser for sure. Then I walk it up the hill because your saddle is a foot too low
Your
for
seat
me.
is very low. Well, your legs are supposed to be longer than mine, but that's set up for someone with like legs like this long.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I low saddle because I've got a dodgy hip. I like my soft suspension to. Yeah, I don't. It's chicken or the egg. 'Cause I do have my tires quite hard.
Yeah, brakes.
Yeah.
Shimano brakes. They're
Full
Sensible.
Shimano. It's got a cubby hole for stuff for my third glove if ever I need it. Perfect.
yeah.
It's got
Done.
a tool somewhere
We
in
fixed your
there.
axle because you had your rear axles that has like a little removable bit that's also doubles as a 6 mil Allen, I think. But somehow you got it stuck down, which just seemed kind of like when people don't know how to put their
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
put it in, I tightened it up, and I couldn't get it out. And I
Yeah.
sent to Dario, there's no way that thing is stuck in there forever. And he just went,
Dario took his man hands.
yeah. And I was like, wow. That's what happens when you lug around 60 pounds of steel all day.
It's aluminum.
Yeah, trying to slow down. You've been getting some good, big, strong forearms. your iPad on the front. It
Oh my
wobbles.
god, yeah.
Oh, the bubble head.
It
Yeah,
feels
it
like
just
your
goes like
fork
this.
has knock or like bushing play or a top out because you can feel your Garmin wobbling on the bars.
It may well have all those things additionally.
Among that. But it goes like this. But it did tell us where there was a bro down today.
It
I looked
did.
down and it just said bro down ahead. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
it
Just
knows.
Fred Durst. Like,
I was
Your
watching
bike
a
knows.
movie while we were
nice, yeah.
riding. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love I've got like this whole, it's like
it was telling me things about your ride that I didn't even know you could know.
apart from that though, it's pretty much the perfect, just basic Shimano for basic boy.
Yeah.
Just basic, easy does it bike. Boring is, it's so unexciting and I absolutely love it. No messing about. Let's rank these bikes in terms of how likely we are to recommend them to someone else. So, Dario, which is the most like recommendable / best bike here today?
Mine.
Interesting.
You can borrow it.
I would also recommend my bike.
Okay, right. So I've got the casting vote, and I would say that bike is a 50 mil stem away from being pretty bloody good, and I would put it
I'll take it.
put it to Kaz. I thought it was
fair.
actually very, very, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching, and get in the comments below to let us know which bike you think is best. Thanks for watching. Please, 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 no mention of bar roll because we just can't take it, and we will catch you next time.